Welcome back to all our friends, family, and yes, even our foes. To the Fox Den Sports Podcast, where Todd and his sports-passionate kids are ready to bring you the latest updates and insights on all things sports. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Fox Den Sports Podcast, along with Kellen, the dog, Gannon G-Mac, and Clay Banch McDonald. I'm Todd Fox, and we've got a lot of good stuff to talk about tonight. First thing I want to say is, hey, congratulations to Rory McIlroy on the Masters win. I don't know if you guys watched that. Clay, I know you did. Kellen and Gannon, no? All right, well, it was good. It was good. Good Masters. All right, the playoffs are upon us. This 82-game season has finally come to an end, and Oklahoma City finished with, 68 and is it 16? 68 wins, 16 losses. 14? You sure?
Wouldn't it be?
Yeah, I think it is 14.
That would be 82.
That's that homeschooling.
Ma taught me right.
You taught you right, exactly. And I went to the public school. Tough school, too. Don't mess with me. All right, anyway. Good that it's over. What are you looking forward to now? Like, I know we've got the matchups right now. You've got the play-in tournament. I want to just kind of go over that on both sides. I know Miami and Chicago are in the East, as well as Detroit and New York, it looks like. Is that right? No. Is that right? No, Miami and Chicago, and then Atlanta and Orlando. Those are the two teams. And then in the West, it's Memphis and Golden State, and Dallas and Sacramento. What are your thoughts here? Who do you want to play? Who do you hope we play?
I never even like that question because I'll see it on Twitter every once in a while, and it's like I couldn't care less because we'll beat anybody. You know what I mean? Like, some fans are all scared or whatever, but I really don't think we have any reason to be scared. So I'd like to play certain teams, I guess, if you could say, just so that way we can beat them. Like, it'd be fun to beat Dallas, just because of last year. But I'll be happy with beating anybody because it's still the playoffs. Anyways, what about you guys?
I feel like, for me, if I went by realistic teams, like, realistically, it's going to be Grizzlies or Warriors. I'd rather play the Warriors.
Really?
I just think we can beat them, and I think somebody else can for sure beat Memphis. I think we can too, but every once in a while they get some random, like, Desmond Blaine and go
Yeah, that's true. Well, and also it's like, if you look at most finals runs who win it, they don't have like an easy path, but it's actually is pretty easy. So I know we can beat anybody, but I don't want to play just the hardest teams because by the finals series we would be a little bit run down.
Yeah.
That's just a side comment to say that he has a point of like whoever we can beat quicker might as well. I think we beat either of those in 4, if not 5.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of opposite of that because last year we got New Orleans and beat them in 4. Barely. Remember they had a shot at the buzzer to beat us in game 1, but we still won. But I think it's sitting out this whole week, get you rusted. We played 4 games, and then the Mavericks went to like 6 or 7 games in their first
still
series.
Warm.
And I think you get in a rhythm. I think rest is a thing, but I also think that it's sitting out this much. Shea hadn't played a lot in the last couple of weeks, and I don't know. I'm a little concerned. So I hope that, honestly, first series goes 5 or 6 games, whoever it's against.
Right.
To answer that question, I don't want to play Golden State.
I don't know.
Butler's a little hurt.
Why? I'm
Just
curious.
because they got Butler and Curry.
Curry. He could go off.
We got Lou Dort.
I don't think there's anybody we won't beat. People are scared of the Mavericks because of blah. That's who. And I was like, well, to me, playing them doesn't mean anything because I'm like, they don't have Kyrie, they don't got their full team. Anthony Davis is limping along. I mean, they're just not. It's not Kyrie and Luka. It's not even the same team. I mean, the two guys that beat us last year don't even play for them. So that's not, to me, going to be the same. Sacramento, I don't think is any challenge whatsoever. Memphis.
That's probably the easiest one, I think, Sacramento.
But I think you're right. I don't think they'll make it. So I think it'll probably will be Memphis, who's probably will end up playing.
So explain the process for our viewers and our listeners.
Yeah, so in the West, you got 7 and 8, which is Golden State and Memphis, so they play tonight. The winner of that immediately goes to seed number 7, and they'll play the Rockets. The loser will play, or the other two teams, the 9 and 10, which is Sacramento and Dallas, will play. The loser's done for the season. The winner will play the loser of the Golden State-Memphis game, and then the winner of that game will play the Thunder. That's why they can't determine the game. I know we're playing Sunday, but if we end up playing Golden State, we'll get primetime game on Sunday. But if it's Memphis, Sacramento, will be the 12 o'clock game probably.
I would also, it'd be pretty awesome to beat up on the Warriors. Now, it's not the same team, obviously, but just like, I'd love to beat Curry. I would love to beat Draymond. We would put a beating on that dude. He'd probably get thrown out, I bet you, one game, if not two, because he would just get ticked off. They let the play get a little more aggressive. He acts like he's tough. We're the most aggressive team in the league. We would probably beat up on him. I would be pretty happy if we played them, just to watch them have to like lose, which they're not that great, so it's not like they're expecting much. And also, I'm not a big fan of Jimmy too, and they act like he's like the savior. And I would love just to beat up on him. I think we'd beat him in 4.
It would also be poetic in the sense of that's what ended our run with Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
When we thought we had everything, when we thought we were going to win it all.
And they were in our shoes in a way, like a young team coming up.
Dethroning them and coming back finally with a team stronger than before.
Like a book. Yeah. Which we're like, in my head, we're like in the Warriors spot 2015 because out of nowhere, young team had like superstars out of nowhere. And all of a sudden they were winning, and people's reason for saying they wouldn't win is because they haven't won yet, which makes no sense.
Yeah, you're right.
People right now are saying, oh, the Thunder, the Cavs, they can't win it. None of these teams that haven't won it yet can't win it because they haven't won it yet, which makes no sense. So I'm pretty excited because like them in 2015 when they got their first championship, they just came out of nowhere. Nobody actually thought they would win. And then they actually won. And then it was like, well, shoot, they are pretty good. And set themselves up for a dynasty. I think that's the same spot we're in.
Well, sure. I think I said that maybe a couple of weeks ago. I said that at some point you got to win. I mean, you win your first one. Everybody wins their first one at one point. And why not this be our time, hopefully, this go around?
Yeah.
That, my biggest concern is just the fact that are we gonna clinch up a little bit during some rough moments, and I hope not. Go ahead.
I would say we will.
Yeah.
But there's no better team from bouncing back than us. And also there's no the only spot that we would have a really hard time is if a team matches us in the first half. Third quarter we have a rough third quarter like we have. And instead of losing a 20, 25 point lead down to 10, we go from a 5-point lead to down 15. Does that make sense? So the only chance in my head that a team even stands with us is if they just, in my head, we have a historical collapse, and the team we're facing has a historical series on both ends of the ball in a good way.
Sure.
And that would have to happen 4 out of 7 times. I just don't realistically seeing it happen. You know what I mean?
Right. So we've got how many series would we have if we win it all? If we not win it all, but go to the championship.
It's 4 to
Three
get there.
and then 4, right?
3 to get there, 4 is the finals. Yeah.
Okay. So we need to go. What is that? 16 and 12.
I mean, that sounds.
I know.
Easy.
We need to go 16 and 12, and we only lost 12 games all year long. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. It's not. But I'm just saying that's kind of, when you think about it realistically, that's kind of what has to happen right there.
And if we went 16 and 12, that would be the worst stretch we've had in over 2 years.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Now, obviously, easier said than done, like you said. But that's just funny to think about. We would be happy to go 16 and 12.
Sure. How happy are you the fact that we have home court advantage throughout the entire playoffs? It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Realistically, though, if we went 16 and 12, you guys had 4 Game 7s in Oklahoma City, and
That would be
Wow.
unreal.
That
I'd be
would
having
be
a heart attack every other week.
That would be. Has there ever been a team do that? Go
don't
all
know.
game
I don't
sevens
think
and win?
so.
I don't think so. I would be surprised, but you never know.
Because that'd be rough.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think my body can take it.
I don't think I could either.
I don't think your body can
I'd be
take one.
terrible.
I'm just so happy that this is
lot
the
of
first
beef
time
tip.
all season that our top 12 players are all healthy.
Yeah.
So the Thunder did
Yeah.
an incredible job getting those guys ready.
Timing it right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, Chet has been a little off and on. People have
Yeah.
said he's had a down year. I don't think he's had a down year. He's just been injured off and on.
I don't think you can get in
But-
rhythm.
If he's rested and correct, if he gets in rhythm, he could be a top 5 player in the playoffs. So in my head, if this first series, kind of like you were saying, Clay, let's say it did go to 5. I don't really want 6, but if it went to 5, if he finds his rhythm in 5 or 4, and he stays healthy and rested, because when he's rested, he's a top 15 player in the league, in my opinion. It's just the problem is he's only rested about a quarter of the year. So if
Yeah.
he's rested and like finds his rhythm, we would see probably some of the best basketball we've ever seen, like of all time.
Who do you think right now is the favorite in your eyes? I know what the betting odds and all that are, but in the Eastern Conference coming out of the East, would you be surprised if it was anybody other than Boston or Cleveland?
Oh yeah, I'd say even just Boston. I'd
I'd be surprised if it's not Boston.
Cleveland, incredible team. I think almost better than what they get credit for, because people discredit because it's their first year being good.
They've just never won.
But yeah.
Well,
In my head though, it's their first year.
Boston
We were
is.
great last year. First year, you just learn. A lot of players in that team will learn for the first time. So
Yeah,
I think that's my only reason. Not because they've never done it before. It's just they've never even been in the playoffs in this round.
Yeah, it's going to be one of them too. New York could slip in, but I seriously doubt it. But
They haven't beat any of the top teams.
yeah.
They're going to be gassed by round 2 as well, running a 6-man, 7-man rotation.
Sure. No, I'm excited for this thing. I know. So we play Easter Sunday is the first game, and like Clay said, it could be noon, it could be prime time. I would like to have a prime time game. And I know they're not getting a whole lot of love from a lot of folks around the league and
Forget it.
other fans, but who cares? We've seen what we've seen, and they go out there and stay healthy, play like they're supposed to play, like they know how to play, and I think they'll be in good shape. Let me ask you this: I know, and it's before the season, before the playoffs start. How are you going to feel if they lose round 1? How are you going to feel?
Sick.
Disaster.
I would be distraught.
If we don't make it to the finals, I'll be sick.
Okay. How about the second round? How would it make you feel?
Sick.
Distraught.
Same. All right. Well, if we go to the Western Conference Finals and we lose,
Sick.
how are you going to feel?
Super disappointed. Not quite as bad, but super disappointed.
Frustrated just because it's going to take a whole nother year to get back to it.
And there's no guarantees.
Well, and also, I'm trying to just enjoy this season because, dude, 68 wins is insane. You know what I mean? Especially with all the stats that people post all the time.
It would be
But
ridiculous.
just considering, like,
we're probably
like
not
Clay
doing
said,
that
like,
again.
yes, like Clay said, like, it would just take a whole nother year to get back. And it's just like,
So what happens if they go to the finals and they lose? How are you going to feel?
still disappointed, honestly.
But like
which
at
is
least
scary.
I'm like, we made it this far.
Okay. How are you going to feel if they win it all?
Sick.
Better than I've ever felt before.
I seriously might run outside naked.
I'll
I
join
wouldn't
you.
do that, but I would be
So
excited.
here's my question. Would that be Oklahoma, like the biggest sports story coming out of the state of Oklahoma ever is what I'm
Yeah.
at.
Yeah.
Bigger
Yeah.
than like an OU Sooners national title or anything
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's professional sports, and so many more people are involved in professional sports and college sports
Right.
that it,
Much harder to win.
especially
All
if basketball is such a worldwide thing.
Yes. True. True.
Huge.
And we've only been a franchise for 15 years?
I don't
I think
even.
like 17 maybe. Was it?
Oh,
08?
so, yeah, okay. That's not very long to win your first one, you know what I mean? Especially when it was that late.
True.
So we didn't have a franchise when y'all were born.
I think it was 09.
Yeah,
if I'm
'cause I
not
know
mistaken.
when Gannon, when you were like 1, I think is whenever the Hornets came here from the Hurricane. Was that 2 years they played here, Clay?
It
'Cause
was
we
like
were
2 years, and then we were off
Springfield,
1
yeah.
year, and then we got the Thunder.
Okay. Yeah.
So
So
yeah,
that's pretty
wow.
cool.
Did you guys see too where only the second franchise to have 3 different players win the scoring title?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And that's
7
so
of the
close
last
together,
16
too.
seasons we've had the scoring title.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty
Crazy.
awesome.
Would you go to the parade?
If I had a chance,
was
I
there,
probably
I
won't be able to. Yeah.
I would love to go to a parade. It'd be fun. Extremely fun. And I like to sell a lot of championship shirts as well.
I'd like to buy a championship shirt.
I will buy
Yeah.
one from you.
Honestly, I truly think that what happens, I haven't been there for any kind of championships, unfortunately, but from what it sounds like, we would open up, let's say the game ended at 10 o'clock at night. I think we would open up around 11 midnight. I don't know that 100%.
Like,
yeah. And
like
block it off.
Academy.
Academy did.
Yeah. And
with
I think
with the Cardinals.
Yeah, when
I
the
think we
Cards won
block
the
it
World
off
Series.
to where they can't go around the whole store. I believe that's what I'm being told. From
Hey,
people that I've known.
you might start preparing because I have a feeling that it might happen.
I'll come be security for a free shirt.
Yeah, okay. I have to buy the shirt because I can't get me away free. But hey,
But if I'm
anything
security-
else, Thunder?
You can put one on me when just the security on it.
Okay.
I want to say this just to look back on it
What do you got?
because this is also just like Twitter talk and people aren't very serious sometimes. But they're like, "Oh, you guys collapsed last year. That's going to happen again." But they don't realize we got rid of our worst player. And I know I dog on him and people think it's a joke. I'm being serious. He genuinely lost us the series. And then we replaced him with a player who fit our system better. And in my head, it's just better because of that. Hustles better. And added Hartenstein, who fixes our number one weakness last year, was rebounding. And also giving Chet some rest. So this team is not the same as last year. And also every player got better. I guess, I will have podcasts throughout, but this is just my prediction for the whole playoffs. I think we do win the finals, and just because it really would take a historical collapse and a historical rise from any team against us in a 7-game series for us to lose with how good we really have been this year.
Gotcha.
Or injuries, but I don't usually like to even say that.
You mentioned Giddey. Well, you didn't say his name, but I know who you're talking about. And I agree with you on that he was our worst starter, probably our worst player in a rotation. He just wasn't a good fit. But did you see the stat on him with the Bulls this year?
Yeah, no, he's playing better. Here's my...
Oh,
yeah,
hang
go ahead.
on. Let me finish my stat.
Go ahead.
Third player in Bulls history to have 1,000 points, 500 rebounds, and 500 steals in a season. Third player in Bulls season. The other two were Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen.
Wow.
And
Here's my thing. Now, he is bad at defense, bad at shooting, but he reminds me of Westbrook, not at all the style of play or the personality at all, but he's like Westbrook in the sense that to be his best and for him to have any worth on a roster, he has to be the main ball handler and the number one guy. But if you have him as the main ball handler and the number one guy, that team's not going to win a championship.
Right.
Does that make sense? So he is not a bad player.
Yeah.
It's just for him to be his best, your team has to have a short ceiling. And that's just my opinion. He's been playing great, though.
And he did make the shot of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I love that shot. Did you see that picture, too? The picture of him
right
in the middle.
Face.
Yeah, and then you see, Luka off in the distance and then LeBron. Yeah, that picture's pretty tough.
Yeah.
I love that shot.
I'm glad he's doing good.
Yeah.
Clay, Kellen, since the playoffs haven't started yet, either of you want to make a prediction on how you think it's going to go?
You too, Paul.
We'll beat Boston in 6.
Okay.
I'm going to say we'll beat Boston in 7.
I say Boston in 7 as well. I think it's going to be
I'm saying Boston 5.
5? Okay. That'll be interesting.
He wants to see it at home.
Are any of these other games intriguing to you? I know I like the Lakers and Minnesota matchup. I think that's going to be a fun series to watch. It could go either way. I know it's 3 and 6 with the Lakers being number 3, but I truly think that Minnesota is just as good, if not better, than the Lakers.
That's
I mean,
be
the Lakers have Luka,
Mm-hmm.
but I think the Minnesota, they've got several good players. You got, what is it, Ant-Man or whatever they call him? They've got him. What's the guy in the middle? Not Gobert, but the other guy. You know,
I mean, you got Nas Reed, Julius
Nas
Randle,
Reed,
Mike
yeah.
Conley.
Who's
yeah,
going to guard him? You know, I think he's going to be good.
Yeah.
I think I agree with you. I think that's the best first round series there is.
I'm excited for the Denver LA one though. I think
That's
LA is
true.
going to win that. I think LA is going to win that. He's like
With all the
not very
garbage
good
that's been
against.
going on,
I think they're going to win. And Harden's been playing really well.
right?
If Kawhi's healthy, I think they take that series. Actually, I might go to 6 or 7, but
Hey, I saw something the other day on social media, and I just thought about it just now, and I'll throw this out there, and then we can kind of move on. But if you had the opportunity to trade for Jokic, but you had to give up both Chet and J-Dub, would you do it?
no, that's Chet and J-Dub's too much.
I would.
You would?
He's the best player in the league.
Here's the thing.
He's second in scoring, led in rebounds, and third in steals.
You know why we're so good? It's because every single player on our roster hustles like I've never seen an entire roster hustle. That dude is not fitting that scheme at all. We would have to restructure
We
everything.
started Jalen Williams every game. J. Will, that man would average a triple-double.
And he
That's what
hustles.
J. Will can do exactly.
He hustles.
What
That's what Garrett
can do, except not make freak random shots that shouldn't go in, and nobody.
That's what Garrett said this weekend. He said it just goes to show you. I mean, I don't know. I mean, but he just said it's not as hard as some people think.
Triple double is not as hard. I know Jokic does some things and he's a great shooter, but
he's good. He's the best player in the league, I think.
I don't think he's the best player in the league. He is incredible. I will say if let's say generations coming up start to use 7-footers in that way and they're able to handle it, it is going to show like, oh, it's not the craziest thing. If Shaq grew up playing like that, he could have done it. You know what I mean? And that's like pointless kind of comment, I guess, because he didn't. But like he was crazy athletic when he was with or quick and agile when he was in Orlando. I think the only difference is he's just the first one, so people are very impressed.
Gotcha.
I still think Shea's better though.
I'd rather have Giannis than Jokic.
Me too, actually.
Really? Not me.
Defense, man.
Defense plus,
But he can't shoot. I don't know, actually.
I don't.
I take neither. Forget it.
Him getting in that paint.
I'm happy with our team now.
Well, we're going to move on to one of our sponsors for a quick commercial.
Spring is back at Dick's House of Sport. Baseball, softball, and golf season are in full swing, and you can find the hottest gear that'll take your game to next level performance. Test your skills or schedule a fitting in our golf simulators and multi-sport cage. Plus, fine-tune your gear with repairs, re-gripping, customization, and more expert services in store. And while you're here, score the latest spring clothing and shoe styles from the brands you love, like Nike, On, Kalia, and Adidas. Sport happens here at Dick's House of Sport.
We appreciate the Dick's Sporting Goods and the House of Sport. And once again, I am wearing a Walter Hagen quarter zip today. Like I said a few weeks ago, not very happy because quarter zip season's coming to an end, and I'm starting to get hot. It's hot right now.
At least you got a fresh haircut. Your beard looking nice too, huh?
What's that?
Said your beard's looking nice too.
Yeah. I got a haircut, and funny story real quick before we move on. So I got a new razor. My other razor, the bristles broke, made it very difficult to trim my beard. So last night, I'd used it once before. Last night I'm trying to figure out like a little gap, so I crushed it together. And then I went, and it just, I almost went bald right here. So I'm like, huh. So I had to like maneuver it around. Well, the thing is that it needed that little gap because of the fact that you turn the nozzle and it raises or lowers, and it was set at that spot it was supposed to be at. So whenever I jammed it, it made it like a 1 or a half or whatever. And I was trying to trim it up, and it just, sliced that sucker.
You're lucky you started there.
I came very close to just shaving it all off, but I thought, you know what? I think I can work with this. I can fix it a little bit.
That would be crazy.
I think I look pretty good, to be honest with you. All right, so let's talk about the Oklahoma Sooners. They had what I call a pathetic, what do you call it? A Crimson Combine? Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
No more of the spring game. Clay, what are your thoughts on? Do you like the spring game?
Me, I think the whole thing with spring games, all that kind of stuff, is you're trying to get fans closer to the players let the little kids get signatures, let them shake the hands, let them buy some gear and all that kind of stuff. And if you do something like that nobody wants to come to, they're asking so much of the fans, $100 a ticket, buy your OU stuff, buy your hats, buy your jerseys, donate for this, give us more money for NIL, and then they put out junk. And it's not just OU. There's a lot of teams out there that are just like, well, we're not going to do this because they're scared that somebody's going to see them. And I'm like, come on. Everybody can see everybody now anyways. That's a horrible reason to not have the game, that somebody may poach somebody from it.
They're going to poach them anyway.
Yeah, it's obviously that stuff's happening because there's agents out there that are doing the poaching. It's not the schools. And so I think you got to do something to get the kids or the fans there. And if you do something that's basically a practice, I'm not paying $10 to go watch that.
No. And it looked like a lot of people agreed with you because I think the announced crowd was 16,000 and other people were saying if it was 10, they'd be surprised.
Well, they had 16,000 pay.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah. So that means there's no telling what the number could be.
How many have gone in the past? Other numbers on that?
I think one year when Venable's first year, they had over 50.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah,
so that's a huge drop.
Yeah, me and Garrett and Garrett and Callie went, I know, last year. And it's fun. Don't get me wrong. I don't know if I really like going, but we got to sit so close, which is what I like, because it's $10 tickets, and I was able to get us like on basically right around the 50-yard line, about maybe 10 rows up, and it was pretty cool to see that because you see all the players. But the thing is, like, I remember last year after that game, we're like, Jackson Arnold just fantastic, and it wasn't that great, right? But because you're going up against your own defense, and you can't play 100%. So I can tell you this from what I'm being told or what I'm hearing as well. Like, David Stone's looking really good. He's gained some weight. He's a little over 300 pounds right now, they said, and he is looking real good. And I'll tell you, the quarterback Mateer, I promise you, he stay healthy. The guy's the real deal. I could see us winning 8 games because of the offense being better. But again, that's a long ways to go. We did lose what they're saying is our top receiver, Gibson, from where'd he come from? Southern Illinois or Illinois State or?
Was that the guy from that one guy? Which is the one from Arkansas?
Is that the Arkansas guy? I don't know. There was it may be him then, but I know he's out. But
the top
they're
portal guy, not our top receiver.
They're saying that he has a good chance of coming back, by they think before the season. I don't know. They said it was a little bit like Kendall. Venable said it was a little bit like Kendall Dobie's injury, and I guess he's been out 6-7 months, and they could have been playing him in this combine, but they chose not to because they wanted to make sure he was healthy as well. So I'm excited for it. I know there's a running back we have in the mix from Cal. I can't remember his name. Garrett texted it last night to us. But do we need another running back? I know one of them's leaving today, but that guy, Sam Franklin. Sam, appreciate what you did, but we got Tatum.
He came from Middle Tennessee State.
Yeah, we got Sawchuk and we got Barnes. So I feel like we're pretty good at running back. Yeah. So I feel like we're pretty
Robinson.
good.
I think Xavier Robinson's going to be our starter.
Oh yeah. Let's see.
I'm trying tight end.
Yeah, we do need a tight end.
Another receiver.
For sure, I agree 100%. But no, I'm excited for the season. I know it's still a little ways away. I know the portal's open. I'm sure we'll lose a few more people. We need to gain some more guys as well if we can, and we'll see there. Did you guys see speaking of Jackson Arnold, what Jackson Arnold said? And I've got it right here. Let me pull it up, and I will briefly talk about this, or we can talk for a long time if you want to. But he was asked a question on why he transferred from Oklahoma to Auburn. He said, this is quote, play the first 3 games, we're 3-0, then go to Tennessee, have a bad first half, and I get benched. So basically, that's why he said he left. Thoughts?
I mean,
whatever.
He didn't really play.
We may have been 3-0, but we weren't playing very good teams.
Yeah,
True.
I wanted to keep giving him a chance, but like those first 3 games, it's not like he was looking impressive.
No, you're right.
But I understand what you're saying, but it's not the same.
Go ahead. What were somebody going to say? Interrupt somebody?
No, you didn't interrupt, but it just seems a little bit like petty and childish.
Yeah.
I think he could have given a more mature response, and I'm sure he had prepared that response too. Is what's funny, like
he was waiting for it to be asked.
Weeks prior, months prior, he was ready for somebody to ask that, so he could be like, "Oh, I got the answer." I think it's just kind of lame.
Sure. In his first road game, for sure, his first C road game will be against Oklahoma. That'll be interesting. See what kind
It will.
What the fans will be happy or clap or who knows? We shall see. I just can tell you, I think we have an upgrade again. Keep him healthy and we'll be good shape. Speaking of Tennessee, Nico Gannon, how did you say his last name? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Are you gonna try it?
Here, let me.
I don't.
It's
Clay, do you know? I don't know how you
Nico
pronounce
Yamialeva or something. I don't know.
I
know. It's like we have no idea.
Yeah.
So you guys saw he was getting paid $2.5 million, and his camp said, "Hey, we want 4." Heupel's like, "Hey, you missed the first spring practice. You're gone." Told him adios amigos. He didn't want him back, and from what it sounds like right now, nobody wants him. He's not on very many teams' radar, especially for that amount. For one, I heard just a few minutes ago that Tulane may be a spot for him. Can you imagine going from Tennessee to Tulane? And to be honest with you, in my opinion, he played 3 rum-dums, kind of like we did in the very first, beginning of the season. And then after that, he's got potential, just like Jackson Arnold. But I wasn't impressed. Not for $4 million. I don't know what your all's thoughts are. And then number one, what are your thoughts on that? And also, what do you think about Heupel? Are you like a little bit more respect? And you're like, way to go, man. Way to go.
I love it. I think it's awesome, just him, but I think it's a great national decision, honestly, because I don't know how much control you can have over NIL, but he showed you can have some just by saying that's not going to happen. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's not just rolling over, because it's sort of just like a train going through. Like, we still don't know exactly how it's going to work out, it feels like. But I love it. I love it a lot. I think it's awesome.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Tennessee, I don't think it was a hard decision for them, honestly. I mean, I think they obviously had to think about it, because it's supposedly he went to the NIL collective in Tennessee whenever they won their first playoff game and said, hey, or went to their first playoff game and said, hey, I'm playing an extra game than what my contract says. I should get more money for this. And they were like, nope. So things are already happening back then. So I think they had a bad winter. And then, and then stories coming out now that Dan Lanning says that his agent was seeing if Oregon wanted to pay for, right, or, pay his $4 million or whatever. So I think he was shopping. His agent was shopping. His dad seemed to be a problem. And so I think there's a lot more issues than, that's why Tennessee was just like, all right, see ya. Yeah. I'm happy for the Sooners, because now that I had that as about a 10% chance of winning, now it's about 50%.
Yeah, it's a better chance for sure, because it's not like they have Kyler Murray backing up Baker Mayfield, right?
Yeah.
Are we gonna say again?
I was gonna say, this is like the first time or first instance of this happening, isn't it?
Yes.
Of at least this big of a player.
This big of a player, for sure.
I love it, because clearly he was in it for the money. I think obviously the right players are in it to win, and they also know if they play well now and they focus then, it's a long-term investment, because you're going to get to the league. Right. That's me saying that from outside perspective, but
sure. Kellen, you got any thoughts?
I mean, I didn't think he was that great. I think he was decent, but I thought he was overrated all year. But then I just think I'm glad Hypo in Tennessee did what they did because we don't want that to become a new normal.
Right.
They put their foot down, at least for the first one. Hopefully nobody else gives in the future. Because, like, I understand these players want money and all this, all that, but just consider yourself lucky. Like, just a few years ago, these guys weren't getting that money. So, like, $2.5 million and to play for a good offensive coach. Don't mess that up. I don't know. But I'm glad that they put their foot down, and it's hopefully not going to happen often.
No, I agree 100%. And then that'll be a podcast for us sometime in the summer, in the dog days of summer, to talk about like what NIL, like what our thoughts are on how it's possible to sanction it, fix it, whatever needs to happen. But I pulled this up. This is from Alan Bell from Twitter or X at Alan G Bell, and that Alan has 2 L's, so ALLANGBELL. Alan G Bell says more factual content or context on the Nico situation in regards to his NIL contract. He was an absolute pain to deal with, holding up his end of the requirements. Fan autograph sessions, meet and greets, etc. almost never showed up, ghosted, and many inside happy to say good riddance. So that just kind of shows you right there. You got to own up to it. I mean, especially that's part of you're getting the NIL deal and the money, correct?
Yeah, I heard the players even were like, "Peace out."
That's crazy.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I heard that same thing about Jackson Arnold. There were a lot of players that were like, "Adios amigos. See ya. Don't need you." All right.
$400,000 a week or a month check.
All right, I got 2 questions for you guys. You ready? The first one, what are your pet peeves? Do you have any pet peeves? Like what? I could write a book on them, but what's in that first chapter?
When somebody is in the right lane and they could stop at a stoplight and they could very clearly be in the left lane so that I can turn right at the light. Gosh.
Gotcha.
Adding 5 minutes to my day. Unnecessary. Gosh.
Number 1, gotta be all-time worst pet peeve. Loud chewing when you smack. If I'm sitting 12 feet away from you and I can hear you're chewing over mine in my own mouth, there's a problem.
The word supper.
You ever heard anybody before in the family or?
Man, yes, but what I hear here just puts it
to shame.
Puts it in a whole nother realm. Yeah. It's And,
Clay?
okay, another one. Go ahead.
Okay, let's hear it. No, go.
No. Clay.
Go.
No,
I'm not going.
I can't think of one, so y'all go ahead.
What?
The word supper.
Whoa! That's not a pet peeve.
That's great.
That's just hatred.
Dad turned it into one.
That's a pet peeve if you don't say it.
Yeah, when I hear dinner.
Gannon, you had another one. Let's hear it. I want to hear that other one you had.
I don't know if it's a pet peeve, but whenever somebody who only talks about themselves complaining about other people only talking about themselves.
Yeah.
I've heard that one a couple times.
I got you.
I don't know if that's a pet peeve. That might just be pretty rude.
No,
but
it's a pet peeve. Yeah, sure.
Paul,
whatever you want it to be. Clay knows that. He talks to people sometimes that talk a little while. But one of mine, I mean, I could write several books, put it that way. I could rival grandma on the book writing. But one of mine in the top would be tardiness. Not a fan. Say you're going to be there at a certain time. Say something's going to start at a certain time. Be there early. I don't like tardiness. I just don't like it. That's just me. But then, like I said, there's a lot of stuff people call out. I mean, a lot of things.
What about outside of work? Tardiness is still valid outside of work.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking.
Yeah, because that's why I say, what is it, 7:50?
BIS,
buns in seat. So we go to church. Make sure we're at church on time. I'd have to think about it. Go ahead.
I know what mine is. Not responding to my text or emails.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Leave you on red.
I'm guilty there.
Really?
I'll respond to yours right now.
Oh, did he text you? That's funny.
He's probably got like 17 to reply to.
Probably. And then my last question is for our viewers and listeners. Hey, what other podcasts do you listen to? Any podcasts you listen to? Like top 1 or 2 that you would recommend?
not sports and not consistently.
So basically, that's what you listen to sports. Is that what you're saying? I'm confused.
I don't listen to sports podcasts, and when I do listen to any podcast, it's like not very consistent.
Okay.
I don't listen
Anyone?
to any podcasts.
You don't listen to any podcast? Wow. Okay.
Well, I don't got time. I'm a working man.
Oh, stop
I'm
it.
busy.
Yeah, I don't listen to any podcast.
That's interesting. Okay. Well,
What do you listen to?
I listen to a lot, but I don't listen to the fully. I mean, Colin Coward, that's not really a podcast. It's his show on a podcast. But I do like Stinking Truth is pretty good with Mark Schler. That's pretty good. It's called Stinking Truth, a football player. I like to go in and look and see, like look for Jimmy Johnson. I like to listen to like him talk or listen to Troy Aikman talk because I think they've got a lot of good insight. Players like that. It's kind of what I listen to.
Well, I guess I have listened to the Kelseys before. That would probably one I've listened to. Whatever theirs is called, but theirs is pretty good.
All right, before next week, because here's some upcoming podcasts. We got the NFL draft, not this upcoming week, but the week after. We talk a little bit about the NFL draft next week. Even though Dallas stinks, I'll be honest with you, I don't know I have no idea. So that's why I've got to get another team, maybe the Raiders. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But you guys got to listen to 3 songs. I don't know what they are. I don't know. You choose what song it is. Reckless Kelly. Okay. I want you to look up Reckless Kelly on Spotify and listen to 3 songs, and we'll talk about it next week. For the Fox Den Sports Podcast, I'd like to thank all of our listeners for taking time out of your day, enjoying yourself, and then listening to our podcast. We appreciate that. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We're on all the different platforms as well, and we're excited to be here, and we appreciate it. I just want to remind everybody that iron sharpens iron. Please stay safe, be savage, not average, and remember to join the skulk. And one other thing, Kellen?
Stay thirsty, my friends.
Stay thirsty, my friends. And until next time, good. Bye, everybody. Goodbye. Boomer. Boomer.
Thank you for listening to the Fox Den Sports Podcast. Be sure to subscribe for free to our YouTube channel, Fox Den Sports. And also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Fox Den Sports and on Facebook at Fox Den Sports Podcast. You can also email us at foxdensports@yahoo.com. This has been Fox Den Sports.